welcome back to my YouTube channel. For today we're going to be going over a little rundown on how to do acrylic overlay for acrylic toes. When I first place my bead, I make sure that my bead is really dry. As you can see, it's not really running over the cuticle. The bead doesn't move unless you want it to move. For acrylic toes, you want to make sure that everything is being patted into place. If you keep swiping your acrylic, you will never ever build the correct square form for acrylic toes. I say that it will be better to use tips if that's the case, but me personally, I just say practice how to do acrylic overlay on yourself or on another person. If you use like nail tips and stuff, it might be a little bit more uncomfortable for your client as well. I wouldn't recommend doing that because let's say if they knock their toe, there's a high chance that the whole nail will come off instead of just the acrylic chipping. So if you want to avoid any issues being brought to you and your business, I'll just say practice how to do acrylic overlay before anything else. As you can see that when I place my bead, I make sure that I'm, forming it into a square shape. As I said, do not swipe at this stage. If your beads tend to be a bit more runny, I would say hold your brush down on your paper towel so it can drain out any excess monomer. This way will allow you to actually pat the acrylic into place because you'll realize that it's not moving to the point where you just need to quickly start swiping it and panicking. If your beads do tend to be a bit more runny, I would say do not prop your client's foot up like how I am. Needed B, I would say go ahead and buy yourself a footstool. The reason why I say this is because the foot is positioned the way that it is right now. The bead is going to be running everywhere. So instead of you having to panic and get the bead to stop touching the skin, when you have the foot propped up on a footstool, that means that the acrylic is going to be running downwards. This will also allow you to make the proper square shape that you want. Another tip I'll give you guys for acrylic toes, I would say keep your beads small. Bigger beads for smaller nail beds means that you're going to be wasting more acrylic than usual. It means that you're going to keep piling on more and more and more acrylic just to get the nails to look the way that you want it to. I would say use smaller beads. So let's say if you do need to add more acrylic, your nails are not going to be thick in the end because the acrylic you already put down was thin. It doesn't matter if you just keep putting small acrylic beads on, your nails is not going to be bulky. If your acrylic toes do happen to come out a bit bulky, you can always file it all down afterwards, but you wouldn't really want to do that because you want to save time. Our checklist is small dry acrylic beads, using a footstool, patting and not swiping your acrylic, and lastly thin beads to avoid thick nails. You can see I didn't place the bead too far back or too far down the nail. This way it ensures that I'm able to make the nice perfect square shape as possible. You can also see that I'm patting my acrylic rather than swiping it. You don't need to be the smartest cookie to make a nice square shape with acrylic. It's like just getting a piece of molding clay and just making it into a square. You don't really need to do too much to get the square shape. I'm using my nail to remove some of the acrylic. You can also use a cuticle pusher, but because I didn't want to grab one, I just use my nail instead. If you're not comfortable with that, just use a cuticle pusher. It's not really that deep. I place my second bead right on top of the bead that I just placed down, in more of a stronger structure of the nail. As if I went in with a cuticle bead, there would be a gap in the nail and the nails would be too sheer because I placed the thin bead down. Sometimes if you place thin beads, the acrylic tends to be more on the sheer side. I just go with my second bead to fill that gap, and then my cuticle bead will, fill the cuticles up. Nothing really changes with the way you place a cuticle bead on acrylic toes in comparison to actually doing someone's nails. Once you place your cuticle bead down, you need to swap it down to get it to blend into the rest of the nail. This is what makes your application look very flush. Make sure you're wiping your side walls and cleaning up the cuticle area. I'm just using 70% alcohol to just wipe down her toes. I do this before going in with my dehydrator and my primer. If you have 70% alcohol, that means you don't really have to go in with a dehydrator, but I just do both anyway. As always, do what works for you. As you can see, the first bead that I placed down was very thin and very sheer, so I go in with my second bead to just clear that up and make the nails a bit more opaque. Once again, I'm just patting down my acrylic, I'm not swiping it, and I'm just making it into a nice square shape. Hopefully you guys have gotten an idea of what I'm talking about, so now I'm just going to let you guys watch how I do my application and I'll be back.
It's alright, I'm not dangerous. When you're mine, I'll be generous. You're irreplaceable, collectible, just like fine China. Favorite, you're my favorite. It's like all the girls around me don't have faces, and the saying goes, life is just a game, but I'm not playing. Whoa, whoa, he's so replaceable. You're worth that choice, you're putting on. It's alright, I'm not dangerous. When you're mine, I'll be generous. You're irreplaceable, collectible, just like fine China. Took me a while to find your love. Ain't no amount of time in this world. Save me a lot of time and just love me. Feel it, baby, feel it in your soul. Are you ready? I know your heart been telling you you belong to me. I know, it's alright. I'm not dangerous. When you're mine, I'll be generous. You're irreplaceable, collectible, just like
We hit the club and it's cops full of jealous. We in the bag and we mugging the deal. And I'm with a bad bitch and a god and a div. Oh yeah, I'm still saying this bitch knows like Lindsay Lohan. She gets down just like Lindsay Lohan. That burn the blood, she's not coming strong. That dish bad, watch her blow. Now she gets away. She wasn't on a road, and she wanted on a runner. You see the dark skin girls with the light skin crews. Yeah, I wish to you. But she the light skin girl with the light skin crew. Y'all know the three monsters say this bitch knows like crazy love. She gets down just like crazy love. Round the block, she's not on the shots. That bitch bad, watch her blow. Get this away. Every time, like that. She gets away.
Shaping is the most important part because this can either make or break your acrylic toes. I would say to also season your nail files. This basically means that you just get another nail file and you just rub the edges against each other so the nail file is not as gritty and you won't cut your client because the nail file wouldn't like saw into their skin. But other than that, shaping is really just the same as doing somebody's nails. This part is also important as you're now able to like file down the nails. So if you did make them bulky, this is your part to shine and, you know, thin them out a little bit.
I mean, I write poems in these songs dedicated to you when you're in the mood for empathy. Is blood in my pen. Better yet with your friends and them. I really want to know you all. I really want to show you off. Fuck that, pour up plenty of champagne. Cold nights when you curse this name. You called up your girlfriends and y'all curled in that little bitty range. I heard that she wanna go and party. She wanna go and party. Nigga don't approach her with that Atari. Nigga that ain't good game home is sorry. They say conversation rule a nation. I can tell, but I could never right my wrongs unless I write it down for real. P.S.
So now I go with my e-file. I use my e-file on 12 RPMs. If for this part, you can use anything between 8 to 12 RPMs. Anything lower than like a 12, just because you're not as comfortable with the speed. I wouldn't recommend going above a 12, only because you're on a smaller surface. And especially if you're not as comfortable, you know, things can really go left if you're not careful. If you did find this video useful in any way, make sure you like and subscribe and help me reach to 100 subscribers. If you guys have watched any of my other videos, you know I am not the best at explaining how to do French tips. What I can say is doing them on acrylic toes is way easier, only because it's a smaller surface, you don't need to do that much. I would say when you're doing French tips not to have too much of the gel polish on your brush, as you don't really want the corners of the French tip to be too thick. You still want them to be pretty thin, as these are small nails. Don't quote me on that, only because some people do like their French tip toes to be a little bit more thick. But when I used to do French tip toes, I used to do them too thick and I just used to hate the way it looked. I don't know, it's all about preference, low-key. As I said, if you did find this video useful, make sure you subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.
Only been a few hours, but it felt like days. Only been days, but it felt like months. Only gone for a year, only know like once. Life move fast when you do what you want. At this time, doing what I want. Hope you knew what you want. What you want?
My new bitch look like Halle Berry, but she don't love me, she too scary. My old bitch front like Jackie Brown. I wanna know but she too down. Will you be my leading lady? I want a contract, girl, no maybe. In the meantime,
It's not going what I want.
need some me time.
Hope you knew what you want.
Crib by the beach like Odell. Over my killers don't tell. Shadow my mom cause I New York the shelf. Now my bitches did Chanel. Will you be my leading lady? I want a contract, girl, no maybe. In the meantime,
It's not going what I want.
get some me time. I don't know if you